get a better suit, huh? Eh?
Ah, yeah, indeed. Hello and welcome to the review of Champions. Today we're going to talk about episode 8, the season finale of season 2 of The Mandalorian, currently streaming on Disney Plus. With me are Shadowbiz,
Hello, hello.
ArArArchStanton, and Maximura. And I am Sakaar's Grandmaster. Before we start reviewing, I would like to invite you all to join us at Sakaar. We will throw the links in the description down below. Join the forum, chat us up, and join the reviewer podcast. You're most welcome to do so. Well, enough talk. Let's start reviewing. Episode 8 is called The Rescue. And yeah, basically that's the episode. They rescue Grogu from Moff Gideon. And how they do it, we're going to talk about now. And maybe also a little bit about the after credit scene. But after Maximura gives his thoughts.
Just the briefest version of summation here. I'm going to take a moment to give a moment of silence to all the doubters and critics who were saying that Star Wars was done here. This has absolutely annihilated any sort of doubt there. You've just been sent to the realm of irrelevant if you're still talking trash about it. Just a spectacular episode all around. It started out, I almost consider it two parts. I realized it was a single episode, but there's the first part that is a really good Mandalorian episode, and the second part, which is the definitive Star Wars experience. Like that second half of the episode where it starts when the ship arrives and everything starts moving from there, it just goes into hyperdrive, and it is absolutely bonkers. As far as the layout of the episode goes, I think there was a lot of fun there. The post-credit scene and everything. There was a lot to be done in that episode. You knew about a lot of the threats. They start with the raid on the ship there, where they go onto the cloner guy's ship and try to get some information and try to get the ship so that they can sneak on board. And you find out that guy is there. I think that pretty much means he is going to have just dropped off the blood to somebody. So that blood is gone and off on some other mission, and they're catching him on the return trip, from what I could tell on it anyway. As far as everything from there, it just kept upping the ante with every scene. The sneaking on board, the chase by Boba to get them on there, everything about that was spectacular. Breaking through, seeing the one guy, the one third generation Dark Trooper come out of there and fighting that, and realizing that the guys who got sucked into the void were going to be a future problem, having seen them fly. There's a lot of just incredible concern going on there, and the episode did a great job of making it feel like a ride the entire time. I will get into more stuff on that in a bit, but I feel like somebody else could probably use a speech at this point.
Yeah, Bish, what do you think?
An excellent episode all around. It was a finale. It was the finale after all. We knew big things were gonna happen. It was. Wow, it was a great episode. Obviously, I'm gonna have to mention Luke. Even though I knew about the rumors that Luke might appear, I still was very, very surprised. I didn't think much of the X-wing when it came just flying by, and then a hooded figure comes through. It's and then you see the green lightsabers. Okay, this has to be Luke. And then you see the gloved hand. It's oh, is that awesome? Great. Pretty much the biggest moment, one of the biggest moments in Star Wars history. I mean, it's Luke Skywalker, the son of Anakin, the son of Darth Vader. What's more to say about this episode than Luke? He stole the episode. That's all I'll say about that.
Mm-hmm. Arch?
I gotta say, I was welling up a bit. And there's a few moments in cinema that make me do that, and it's just a this is so awesome kind of welling up. Like the Rohirrim riding down the hill at the end of the Two Towers to save humanity. There's a number of them that come to mind just throughout cinema history, but this was definitely one of them where I saw the X-Wing and immediately you were like, they're really going to do this. And when he got out in the black hood, I was like, they have to be doing this. The green saber for me was it. I know he's not the only one that carries around a green saber, but at that moment I was like, you have to be kidding me. They are actually doing this. And I didn't know if I was going to be that surprised. I mean, like Biz, I'd heard that it was definitely a possibility. Mm. I almost was thinking, man, I wish I didn't think this was a possibility, but it didn't matter. It was too overwhelmingly cool. and too overwhelmingly epic not to just have an impact on you. It was an amazing moment. And this isn't an episode with a lot of other amazing moments. Mando, I loved the. I'll tell you one other thing I really loved. Mando fighting off the Dark Trooper. I love the way they set that up because they just had one come out the door at him and showed with him versus this one Dark Trooper how tough these things really were, but kept the other ones away. It was a perfect setup for them coming back at the end because you knew what they were dealing with at that moment. Even in the previous episode where they'd had them steal Baby Yoda, you didn't really know. You didn't get that sense, but having that fight was tough. And sort of supplementary to that, you saw his dealing with Moff Gideon. You saw that the Darksaber fall on the ground, and just based on the setup of everything you knew that was going on so far with the other characters, including Bo, especially Bo, you knew Mando just got this saber. And we talked about this earlier a couple episodes ago, who was going to wind up with that. I was thinking it made more sense or offered bigger story potential for Mando to wind up with it. And the moment that hit the floor, you knew he had it. And I just love the ending, the stand up with him and Bo trying to figure out when he's desperately trying to give her this saber. He does not want this responsibility. More than that, he doesn't want to take it away from her. He wants her to have it, but there's this whole code of honor where he can't just give it to her. And I'm really, really, really curious where that's going at this point. I think that's the key.
Yeah, but I have planned to come back to that on a later moment. For me, last Friday, and I'm gonna deviate a little bit now. Last Friday was for me the single best day in television history. You get the Mandalorian episode, Luke Skywalker, the whole thing. It was from start to finish. It was perfect. And that Luke Skywalker reveal was, it gave me goosebumps. It gave me tears. It blew my mind, and it was absolutely fantastic. Then I watched Star Trek Discovery, and they had a big moment in there. I know you guys don't like Star Trek, but basically they had something similar. I think those two shows absolutely peaked last Friday, and it was absolutely the best day in television history to me. The moment I knew it was Luke is when I saw the X-Wing. Because in my mind, there's no other Jedi who has access to an X-Wing. And you knew it was a force-wielding creature that was the Deus Ex Machina that came falling, well, literally out of space this time. So, I immediately knew it was Luke, and indeed the green color of the saber, the gloved hand, that was confirmation. And the way he sliced through those dark troopers, that showed his total fighting skills compared to what Mando did against one dark trooper. You immediately know that they may be equipped to fight Jedi, but they don't stand a chance against Luke Skywalker. And I loved it that it was Mark Hamill himself. They de-aged him, and not Sebastian Stan, what was rumored a lot. Although I saw some people on Twitter complaining that it was Mark Hamill himself. Some people you cannot satisfy.
How dare you use Mark Hamill as Luke?
Well, there was some criticism on this episode. Some people say it was too much fan service, and that the original premise of the Mandalorian, the bounty hunting, has gone out of the window pretty quick after season 1. I disagree. I think The Mandalorian is, one of the best TV shows I have seen in my life. And if you look at the production value of this particular episode, the shot from the launch tube on the Star Cruiser, everything looked like movie. It was a movie perfect, and it looked great. And I want to do a little shout out to Mr. Peyton Reed. He gets a lot of heat for being bland and that his movies are mediocre. Well, if you think that, if you may, but he definitely showed he is a very good director in this episode. But there were some other things we need to unpack here. Yeah, I want to come back to what Art said earlier first. The dark saber, it's in the hands of Mando. Grogu is out of the picture. What does this mean for The Mandalorian Season 3? Does anybody have thoughts on that?
I would expect them to be moving forward with that scene that we saw them stop at there, basically. Even if we flip forward a little bit, and I don't expect Bo's going to come to the determination that she needs to fight him for that. She wanted to lead, but I think she realizes that their ideals are close enough together that if she takes up sword against him, it's going to be endless civil war for the society. There may be some way that he manages to find a way to get himself seemingly killed in some situation further on that allows the saber to be left behind, allowing her to pick it up somehow. I don't know exactly, but it just doesn't feel like a situation where she's going to decide that she needs to fight him for that, just because it would be an endless circle of battle if you do that.
Yeah, that was my thought too, because basically, well, I wouldn't call them friends, but they don't hate each other. They helped each other out on several occasions, so for them to start fighting would feel weird. But I do see this as a potential thing to happen in Season 3, where Mando is basically forced to lead Mandalore because he has a dark saber. And yeah, that maybe he is a different. He's not a real Mandalorian. Of how do you see that? How do they see that in the Star Wars lore?
He's not officially a Mandalorian by blood or anything, but the Mandalorians, whoever fought and won the Blacksaber, is the leader of. Darth Maul was the leader of the Mandalorians for a while.
Yeah.
A guy that they knew to be in charge of a terrorist cell was the leader of the Mandalorians for a little while because he had the Blacksaber, or the Darksaber. It's just, it is the leadership token if you've won it in rightful combat.
Are you automatically the leader, or do you have to claim it?
They will follow you. I'm not sure that not everybody's a good leader. Darth Maul was notably on the verge of insanity while he was in charge of them, and people were kind of putting up with it, but nobody was thrilled with it. But nobody thought they could beat Darth Maul and take it from him, so they just kind of had to follow him.
I think Season 3, the course of it now, is going to be Bo reluctantly following him and Mando being a reluctant leader, and somehow or another it winds up back with Bo eventually. It may be, you know what? It may be that they have some sort of new threat. I don't know what it is, but that person does in fact take the Darksaber, and it becomes a thing where they have to try to get it back again. I don't really know. Maybe, but I think Bo will probably be there in the long run. It'll just be most of Season 3 before she gets there. I feel like Bo has enough respect and honor for who Mando is as a person, not to let her desire for the Darksaber override that, at least not right now. There's just no motivation there. Like, he's a suitable enough leader that even though she wants it, she's not going to try to take it from him. Not right now.
I would say that Mando's arc through the story of removing the helmet has been that some traditions can be done away with, and I think that will be his big blessing to the Mandalorian future, is getting them to break ties with a tradition that forces endless civil war in pursuit of control of the blade. I think that could be his biggest contribution there.
Maybe. I don't think they'll go that far in terms of like breaking the tradition. But the thing is, Gideon didn't exactly die when Mando took the Darksaber off him, so Mando doesn't necessarily have to die either. I mean,
right.
It depends how like extreme Bo-Katan is, because it's not like was she part of the Death Watch? I can't remember now.
Yes, she was. While her sister was trying to run the Empire in a better direction, well, a less violent direction.
And she did have like that kind of like death stare going on. So who knows how serious she is with like the whole story and tradition. And yeah, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Speaking of Moff Gideon, is he done?